on the videos, but I haven't really talked about 360 in my experience. Um, in fact, if we're gonna get super serious about this, I'm even gonna position this nice like that. Talk about this. Um, Reality is, I have had a couple of action cameras. My first ever action camera was something called a Contour. Uh, a Contour Roam? No, was it the Roam? Was the Roam 2? I don't think it was a Roam. I had some sort of Contour camera. It did shoot, despite being the first camera ever that I had that was a helmet camera. It did shoot 1080p. Shockingly. It also had a rotatable lens with laser sight, which I thought was really cool because it meant that however you positioned your camera, you could actually use the two lasers to align the lens so that it was always perfectly facing forward. Really wish the Sony's had that. But it essentially was just fine tuning. From there, I go to a Sony Action Cam, the 1080p one for about 1 year. Uh, Much easier to use in reality, and it had stabilization that was better than the Contour ROMs. I don't even remember if the Contour that I had stabilization. Insta360 did. I don't believe it was that. I mean, the Sony Action Cam did. I did ultimately, by that point in time, I was watching 4K content. I did ultimately move on to the Sony Action Cam 4K. That was the Sony Action Cam 3000 series instead of the 1000 series. And if you look it up, there are multiple versions of the 3000 series. They're all the same camera. The stabilization in that was good. It was better than the 1000, but it still wasn't as good as the 360 camera stabilization. But because 360 can focus on one spot, keep it as the central, and because of that, the same stabilization that was so famous in the GoPros can be applied, and even better. But even though the stabilization wasn't as good as my 360 cameras came out to be, I was dumbfounded by the 4K shots. It was the first camera that I actually fell in love with. I liked the Contour. I liked the Sony Action Cam. I fell in love with the Sony Action Cam 4K, and it really was what made me want to continue. 360 became a thing. I had a Gear VR, and I wanted to check it out. I got a Xiaomi Mi Sphere, and that was my first ever 360 action camera, and that was another failure. The major issue was it was not an action cam. The Contour had a little bit of a problem in super cold temperatures, but it could handle cold temperatures and was actually very good at handling hot. But ironically enough, it could actually handle colder temperatures than the Mi Sphere couldn't handle them at all. I hated the Mi Sphere for one reason. It couldn't handle the temperatures at all. When it worked, it was fine. The other thing is it was impossible to stitch. It didn't stitch on its own. You had to do it yourself in the software. There was no self-stitching for that. And that is ultimately why I did give up for some time on the 360 camera. And I actually went back to, thankfully I still had it, Sony Action Cam 3000 and continued to make. I don't even remember how many videos that there were. I think the one zipline video I had was made with the, here in America they call it the Mad B 360. But I did give up on 360 for a while. At the time I had the Gear VR, which you plugged your Samsung Galaxy into, and it just wasn't. It was fun, But between the using the phone and it being basic and the single controller, it just was not what I wanted 360 to be. But the time did come. I got the Quest and then immediately ditched it for the Quest 2. I sold my Quest for basically $50 less than new. Someone wanted it. I'm surprised. Sorry, I'm kind of surprised they bought it when the Quest 2 had just released. And they Quest 2 had just released, so I didn't scam anyone there. They were aware of the release of the Quest 2. They just wanted the Quest 1. But I remember the Quest 1 already being better because, well, it had two controllers for one thing. And the Quest 2 even improving on that because like certain games I play Rec Room on a weekly basis. That's really primarily what I use it for. But 360 Video really did become something I could use when the One X2 came out. I thought it was time for a new camera. One X2 was the first time I took a look, watched back my 360 video, said, hold on a minute. That's actually good. That's actually the, not only 360, that's actually the best video in general that I've gotten. Because of 360, it was, and the stabilization the 360 used was mind blowing. All the skin that I handled. Even in the initial test video for the X3 that I handled up, I was sure it was going to be disastrous. But instead of keeping it direction locked like I had originally planned to, I just decided to use the keyframes. And tonight I have found out that PowerDirector, the editing program I use, for whatever reason, keyframes, when you do them in the application on the computer, if you export the video, it will export certain things. Like it exported there was a really funny moment where in the corn maze video that's being uploaded right now, and it'll upload overnight and be available hopefully tomorrow, if not tomorrow night. I stuck a little sticker on. I kept avoiding the one way that was that was the correct way out. And when it got rid of all the keyframes and all the little big planet effect, I mean, all the little planet effects and all the effects that I had done, I was like, shoot. But I do know that certain objects will work. Anything basically that doesn't require a keyframe will work. Because like the little thing, it looks like a sticky note where I said idiot. I had a little sticky note that says idiot where you look down at my helmet, it says idiot on it because I kept avoiding the one way that was right. In fact, I did actually even have I did have a moment where in the edit in the Insta360 studio, I actually look down at the helmet, and I was able to recurse. I found out you can frames in PowerDirector, so I was able to have a moment of looking down at the helmet using the PowerDirector to look at the little idiot sticker I put on my helmet that I drew on my helmet in the 360 studio. So I remember I can add little titles in the Insta360 studio and will export with camera. Just anything that requires keyframes, such as the little big planet effects. And anytime I want to, this is kind of relief, this is something for the future. Anytime I want to reposition things, like I haven't done all that's left is I have to do the Sucker River video transfer over. When I do that, I will definitely be using the PowerDirector program to do those reframes. Did practice with it a little bit the climbing video. I didn't want to edit the climbing video. I even said at the start of the climbing video I wasn't going to edit the climbing video. And I put something at the end of the climbing video. I did edit the climbing video because I stupidly exported it without direction lock. So I had to do several corrections. And it was more a play around with it because I really don't care about the climbing videos this year. It just didn't, it won't be good. It won't be good. It'll be probably the worst video, but hey, I'm uploading it. We'll do a much better climbing video last year. Like I said in that video, I now have climbing poles, a climbing backpack, climbing just it's going to be much better next year. Anyway, but the Insta360 X1 X2 was the first camera where I actually took a look at the image that I shot and was sorry, I'm actually watching what made me want to do this is I'm actually watching a video about the Insta360 One X2. I mean the Insta360 X3. They dropped the one. And I do have the initial video uploaded to like 40% because when it uploads from my phone, it's god awful speed. Like seriously, I wouldn't be surprised if I wake up in the morning and it's 90% done and the computer is already done. I know internet speed. Yeah, but and they're both on the uploading over the same wireless network. Yeah, but I think the wireless card in my computer can actually make use of the full wireless card. This phone, I absolutely hate this phone. Really, I do. I think its wireless card might actually have an issue staying connected. It disconnects from the wireless a lot. Haven't had that issue with my computer at all. Even when it stalls, it picks right back up. But focusing on the Insta360, I am, even though I'm uploading initial ones right now, I'm still debating whether to just do another upload, whether to just edit in the phone the Insta360 X3 video. That the other one is shot in it earlier, still in the evening, but more like in the afternoon. I am debating. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but honestly, looking at the how the initial test of the X3 came out after it edited, I was honestly kind of shocked that it came out that good and that the stitching, it's not terrible, even with the lens guards on. And keep in mind, that's not using the lens guard setting. Stitching is still more noticeable, but there is a manual option. So I did ultimately, as I said, buy the Action Cam because of all the buying all the mounts, and it made more sense to just buy the helmet. I'll have so many different options. I'll just remember to not use it. Alexa, stop. My house will never have an you know who. Did I say something that actually scared my dog too? Molson. It's fine. Anyway, I'm still watching videos about the X3. To, if nothing else, research. I am, now that I've truly gotten into it, I am playing around with things now. I know now to operate the application in windowed mode and I won't run into all the calibration issues. That's actually something I picked up ironically enough from work. I've no longer got this thing where I am tired coming from home because I officially work from home as of last week. The one good thing having COVID brought me. They sent me home with a laptop, and after 2 weeks of having COVID, which I should be done now. Uh, it's been about 2 weeks, so hopefully I test negative for COVID when I test probably tomorrow. I think Wednesday makes 2 weeks, but we'll test. See. But ironically enough, it was a blessing in disguise because I'm now keeping the laptop. Granted, it's a work laptop. They own it, but I'll be having my own workspace here. So when I'm done with the workday, I'll be able to literally walk into my room, sit down, and do my own work. Still would rather have my own place, and reality is that is something that could become a reality that has closer than ever. And despite all the issues I thought I would face, I honestly, I always used horizon lock. I mean direction lock. And even on the terrible climate video, using the horizon. I mean the direction repositioning things in PowerDirector, the program I pay for, was shockingly easy. And I figured out how to download. I'm like, I never gave these programs a fair chance. PowerDirector, I'm really delving into it now. I've downloaded a lot of new music. I tell you all the time, they give you a lot of new music. Well, it's been a couple of months. There's essentially all new music. And it's music that I loved from Shuttershock. And it's all royalty free. I don't even have to credit it like I do with the band sound. And I honestly downloaded a whole bunch of new ones tonight. Seriously, if you looked at my PowerDirector folder right now, the most files are music. So there's a ton of new music to use. Uh, probably gonna might probably not gonna use it in the summer videos, any of them. That's not true. I might actually use it in the Soccer River video because are a couple sections I'm gonna have to mute where other people use their own music. But just even the Soccer River video, it's not gonna be like the climbing video where I had to reframe here, here, and there because I keep looking different directions. Soccer River video, the turns are more gradual. And the knowledge of the reframe in the PowerDirector because PowerDirector, unlike any of my other programs, plays very nice 360. It does. Even the preview. Whenever I have an issue, I keep forgetting that there's a button you have to hit to change the preview to 360 is 360. There are actually two buttons you have to hit. One is like, oh, this is a 360 video, and the other one is to show it in 360. But that's on me. I just forgot. Yeah. She wants attention. It's okay. Your parents are coming home in a few days. You're knocking over my camera. Don't lick the couch. Taking over my video. Hey. No. Don't. Why do you always lick the couch? Right. This is really turning into a dog video, so. Oh. Stop. You've invaded my video. Whatever, I always set myself a 20-minute limit anyway. I said when I wanted to. Better 360 videos are coming, because I'm finally getting used to what 360 is really. Molson! What it's really like.